Hey everybody, welcome to Popular Unknown Paintball Live. Excuse me. Um, I don't expect this to be a really exciting episode tonight. I don't even know how long I'm going to stay online, but you know what? I just wanted to visit with you all today. Um, there's nothing specific that has to be done. I was having some technical difficulties for the last few days, and that's fine. I'm in the process of reorganizing everything in here. I've got a new, I shouldn't say new, but a larger TV that I'm going to put behind the camera. That's how I'm able, when I'm talking, to actually look into the camera and it looks like I'm looking at you instead of constantly looking down at my laptop all the time because my camera's here. So I got a nice big TV behind me there. So I'm doing that. And I got some new lights to set up. This weekend, I will be building a workbench here in my living room. It's a small one-bedroom apartment, so I'm gonna be building a workbench over there under the window. So sometimes I may go live and I'll be able to redirect cameras um, while on me and then down on whatever I'm working on. So maybe we'll in the future I'll be able to work on some vintage paintball guns, things like that. Again, you guys will have to forgive me. I am just winging it by myself today. I just wanted to interact with my friends and those of you that might be watching and might want to hang out. By the way, if anybody wants to join in, hang out, chat, don't hesitate to send me a comment and I'll send a link. Because honestly, tonight's just a hangout, and I really wanted to talk about where I want this podcast, and more importantly, less about this podcast, more about myself, on what I want to accomplish in this. What's the word I was looking for? Uh, what I want to accomplish this season playing paintball. Oh, we got a comment from Steven Snow here saying, I think a very tiny mechanic was trying to steal your microphone. It's right there. It's big. So I don't understand. You'll have to explain that to me. I do apologize, Steve. I do not understand that if it was a joke or not. So, oh, I get it. The little hand. That's because Popular Unknown Paintball Podcast, it's my logo. So I drew that on there just because where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I wanted there. I'll put the little podcast logo right there. So I drew a hand on it because that's the logo. Anyway, eh, not the funniest thing, but it is what I like to do. So anyway, you do know it's like, all right, fine. So in any case, I just wanted to talk about what I wanted to accomplish this year. Um, Due to finances and family things that are going on, I don't foresee myself traveling too much, if at all, down to the States, which absolutely sucks, but it is what it is. And but I want to play more. And that's what's really something that's really been bothering me for the last little while. And when I say last little while, I'm talking the last year when I went quiet, is that I just want to play more. I noticed I think my motto for this year is going to be more playing, less peacocking. I didn't play one single day last year at all. I got out to PRZ and the place was cold and wet. It was slimy and it was just I was freezing. I was not prepared for the weather of that day. And I spent the whole time in the intensity booth just hanging out, talking to people. Lots of people were coming up, wanted to meet me, want to take pictures with me. And that's I loved it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have rather been playing, but I loved the attention. So please don't get me wrong. If you ever see me, please don't hesitate to come up, shake my hand, approach me, whatever. I want to meet every single one of you. I've said that since day one of I starting this podcast. If I could meet every single paintball player on the planet, I'd be a happy man. Obviously, that's not going to happen. It's not possible. And I'd probably guess about 50% of them don't want to meet me at all. Eh, but that being said, I want to play more. More playing, less peacocking. I think that's going to be I think that is going to be my theme for this year. Actually, speaking of which, I'm pretty excited. Let me show you a picture here. I'm going to switch over to this for a second. I have sent out my son's. All right, so this is my son. Where is it? There we go. This is my son's invert mini, and I picked it up used literally in a bag. Like it was not put together like this at all when I got it. And I have sent it to Sean Halpin of Sinister Tech here in Ontario, and he is redoing the whole thing for Corden just to get it up and running. And I have to say, I really like that gun, that little mini. I mean, Corden wanted it. I gave it to him. Happy to give it to him. But it's all metal. It's nice. It's tight. It's fast. Oh, is it fast? But yeah, anyway, I got it in a bag and I put it all back together. And unfortunately, even after ordering new cup seals because there was the recall and to the switch over to the new cup seal and stuff, even though I reordered all of that and brought it in, there was still a minor leak down the barrel. Now, for the last few years, hasn't really bothered me, but this season, both my son and I want to play more, and so I'm very excited to have that gun up and running. So I can't thank Sean of Sinister Tech enough for taking it in. He's going to put in all new seals and stuff. Oh, there's somebody in my green room. Do I want to say hello? Do you guys want to say hello? I think we need to say hello. Hey, Fred, how you doing?
What's going on, my friend?
Not a damn thing. I just wanted to go live. I told you I'd send you an invite because I am so sorry I missed your show yesterday.
Oh,
I
technical problems are technical problems. Remember when I first started, how often I had to call you?
yes, I do actually. When are you going to stop calling?
About every 5 minutes, I believe it was.
Something like that. But no,
Yeah,
you had a lot of help back then too, though. It wasn't just me. Like, I mean, you had Freddie the ref, and those guys were really helping you a lot, and Bill Bailey, and those people also helped a lot. So you had a lot of help. It wasn't just me helping. Your
I
show
did,
was
but
a team effort, and it's one of the things that makes it so great.
you were a big part of it, though. Whenever I had a snag, which was just about every time I was pulling up my site, I would jump right away and get a hold of you, and you'd walk me through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, not that I'm a professional at it now. I'm still pretty electronically backwards, I will say, to keep it polite.
I,
But
I
you're
would
light
I
years ahead of me.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that your strengths lie in other areas. That's the way I would put it. And
Well, if
it's
you would write them down and
teamwork
send
makes
them
the
to me.
dream work, right?
Yeah, if you can figure those other areas out, write them down and send them to me.
Hey,
Yeah.
did you see the picture of Sean's not Sean's Corden's invert mini that I sent
Yes, I
in?
did. Yeah,
You saw that?
that's the one you haven't rebuilt.
Yeah. I sent it to Sean, gave it to him today, and he's gonna be taking care of it over at Sinister Tech. Because when
Oh,
I
very
rebuilt it,
cool.
because I got it in a bag, like it was in pieces. It was not healthy. And I put it back together with what O-rings I had, and I made it work, and it was shooting amazing. But I still had a little minor air leak coming down the barrel,
Got
and
it.
so yeah.
Well, yeah,
Anyway, I saw.
I would like to have you on last night, but I understand. When you got technical difficulties, you got it. But we talked a little bit about Wasaga Beach yesterday,
Nice.
and we talked about some of the upcoming events, in Canada and in the U.S. also.
Yeah.
So I was trying to just kind of spread it out there so that make people aware of what's going on, so maybe they can hit some of these events. I thought it'd be pretty cool.
So did you guys talk about Frosty's Revenge in March?
Yes, we did. Yes. Yes, we did. I think that's in a couple of weeks, actually.
Yeah, March
Um,
16th. And I remember that date exactly because March 15th is this guy's birthday.
yeah, that's right. You're going to be a cool, what, 68? I love it.
Probably more like 98. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
Like it's getting harder and harder to get out of bed in the morning. I'm just saying.
Is this the first year they had the Frosty Revenge, or have they had it
No,
in prior years?
Frosty's Revenge has been going for about 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
And
Really?
basically it has very little storyline. It's basically summer versus summers versus winter.
Uh-huh.
And you've obviously heard of Groundhog Day, right?
Obviously, I live it. But yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the actual day.
Yeah.
But they do it as a competition for Wyatt and Willie, which is a famous Canadian groundhog, gopher, whatever. I think it's an albino. It doesn't really matter. But apparently, according to Donna Langman at Wasaga Beach,
Right.
the Frosty's Revenge game is more accurate than Wyatt and Willie.
Oh, really?
Yep. Apparently that's true.
So have you played it before?
Yes, I have. I've played it about 3 or 4 times. But this year is special because I really want to play more. I don't know if you heard me talking, but I think that my motto for this year is more playing, less peacocking. You
Oh,
know,
there you go.
I want to get away from the fancy guns. Not that I don't have anything that's not fancy, but or modified. I don't know. In any case, I want to get away from guns that look like that, or paintball guns that look like that. I should say paintball markers. I don't want YouTube to shut me down again. I want to get, and I just wanted something a little more basic. So I picked up a Geo 3. Do you know what those look like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up a Geo 3 used last year, and I absolutely love the thing.
Yeah.
I've had it out. I've been test fired it a little bit, and it's just the thing rips, and it's got that snappy little feel to it that I really like.
Yeah. I'm trying to place what it looks like. what the heck have I got here? I got so much stuff I don't even know.
Hold on a second. Hey, Fred, look at your screen for a sec.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Aha.
That is my Geo 3 that I picked up.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So that's my Geo 3, and that's my EMEC. And so the Geo 3 and the EMEC are probably the two markers that I'm going to play with the most. By the way, that
Yeah, I've got
EMEC,
one of those.
you got one?
I believe so.
Do yourself a favor. Send your EMEC to Caesar.
Oh yeah, Caesar does all my stuff all the time.
Yeah, but he threw the kitchen sink at my EMEC. Like the thing is just screams. The valve's been changed, the pin's been changed, the whole thing's been boom treated. Like you have no idea. By the way, don't pull a marker out. Don't do it. It'll what it'll do it bit me last week or the week before. The minute I pulled a marker out to look at it, it was a line of sight Bushmaster, one of the pumps. And the minute you pull it, the bots see it, think it's a gun, and it disconnects me from YouTube.
Is that it?
That's the same as mine.
Wow, pretty cool. Yeah, I've never. I got this. Wilbur Gott gave me this.
Now, is that the one? Actually, is that the 100 or is that the newer one?
Supposed to be the new one.
Oh, okay. So mine's the older version, but the new one's better. You can tell by the back. The back screws out on mine, whereas the new one just sort of has like a pop out kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what this has. A twist and pull out thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this one has.
So mine just rotates out, and that's the one I wanted. I picked it up from a friend, used it. It was supposed to be a field rental, and he had a few extra lying around, so I got it for a steal of a deal. I won't say how much because I don't want other people beating them, going after him too. But yeah, so I picked it up, and I didn't even get it. I had it sent to Caesar, and then he threw the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah, he does all my stuff. Hey, we got. Normally, when I do my show, I can't see who's on because everybody comes up Facebook user.
Right.
I probably get maybe 5, 10 people I can actually see their name. Everybody else is Facebook user. But we got
Right.
Stephen Snow is watching right now,
Yep. Yeah,
and
we were chatting a bit earlier.
he is a great guy, a great, great guy.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
yeah, and he just moved into a new house too. So he's got a new house down there.
Well, that was a mistake.
Yeah, yeah, he's a terrific guy. He really, really is. I don't know how much you know him, but he's the kind of guy you like to get to know. He really
I'm
is.
not sure. I'm not sure I know him that well or where I know him from, but I do recognize having chatted with him in the past. So, I was
Yeah, yeah,
gonna,
he's pretty cool. I see him watching right now. That's pretty sharp.
yeah.
He's a heck of a guy. You know,
So, are you going to be playing much this year?
oh, absolutely. Yeah. What I'm doing now is like week after next. I don't even know where the hell I'm at now. But like week after next, I go to Las Vegas because they're doing this summit. Um, all right, Montoya. You know what, Ernesto? I absolutely agree.
Yep.
See, I like guys like that. You know, what I mean, to
I like
me,
paintballers in general.
I know, but it's just it's such a special thing. And I can't say I like all paintballers. I don't talk bad about the bad ones, but I just hello
Yep.
Facebook user.
Yeah. Hey, Fitzberg. Hello,
Yeah.
Greyface.
But that's one thing I talked about last night, Steve, was how special paintball has not only been for me, but when I go play or I go to these tournaments or I go to these big games or whatever I go to, I not only get to see my friends I would never get to see otherwise if it wasn't for paintball, but I get to meet new people on top of it. So, it's like a super, super special thing for me.
Oh,
But
I totally agree, and that's what I don't know, you weren't, I don't know if you were online when I started talking, but I
no,
think
I
that's
just
my
got
new
back, so I popped on real quick.
no, no, guys. I think that's my motto for this year is, more playing, less peacocking. We ought to actually
Oh,
make that a T-shirt. No
that's
peacocks. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that sounds pretty good actually. Yeah.
Although, I think in paintball, two of the biggest peacocks on the planet are currently sharing a podcast together.
Yeah, but not this one.
Oh, of course not.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
not
oh,
talking
yeah.
about us.
Anyhow, I'm doing the summit. The NXL tournament is the middle of actually the 9th. I fly out for Las Vegas, so they're having an awards ceremony on Sunday night, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Tommy Cole's got the paintball summit. So this is something that I think should have been going on for a long time. So
So
I just
what's the
support it
what's
big
the
time.
paintball summit?
They're going to have all. I mean, it's sold out totally,
Yes, but what
and
is it?
it's all the manufacturers and different store owners and field owners and everything all get together and have a 3-day summit. It's
All
at
right.
Sahara
So they took over what
Hotel
used to be
Casino.
paintball extravaganza?
Basically, yes. Yeah,
Because
basically
I
yes.
know extravaganza. I think last year was the last year of it ever.
Yeah, because Thomas Gee ran it. He was in charge of it for the last few years, and he did a great job. But having it in Las Vegas, one thing it was always in New York,
Right.
so when you
Well,
get anything in the center of the country, it's always much much better for people up from both coasts to get to than it is from one guy on this coast to go to that coast and vice versa.
oh,
So
no arguments. But I do know that the paintball extravaganza, it did move a little bit there for a bit, but people always complained because they'd move it to places where there wasn't enough airport or there wasn't enough hotels or whatever.
no,
So
not
I
so much
think,
that they had it in New York. So I
well, yeah,
mean,
but it moved. I'm pretty sure paintball extravaganza moved.
yeah, the last few years it's been in New York though, because I was going to go to it. I think it was last year. I was out in New York, but Tom tried to get it. That was closer to the tournament that we have out there, and just he couldn't get the facility for it.
So are we
So
talking about Summit's always been in New York or
no,
extravaganza?
no, this is the first time the summit.
Right.
I'm talking about extravaganza.
Uh,
The summit now is in Los Angeles. It's at the Sahara Hotel and Casino, and Tommy's been working on it, I guess, for a while, so it should be pretty cool. And then I come back from that, and I'm back for like 4 or 5 days, and then I head out to Southern California. There you go. I'm going
Yep.
down to SC Village because I had to take and reschedule the WCPL Southern California tournament because everything got flooded out down there. It was just, it was bad.
I
So anyhow, so yeah, we've got it for the 23rd of March now.
Nice. So how many people are allowed to go to this summit?
That's a good question. I got Tommy sent me a VIP ticket immediately, so I can't tell you how many people are going there. I
Fair
really
enough.
don't know, to be honest with you. So I got my ticket and I was happy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I was going. I wish I was traveling anywhere, to be honest. But traveling really isn't in the cards this year, I don't think.
Well, maybe
Maybe later in the
summertime.
year.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe later in the
summertime.
year. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see how things pan out.
You know,
But
because I had Andy on last night from the LA Remember Foundation, and you know I went there last year, and actually I went there the same date that they had a big game down at SC, and so I went to Andy's because I promised him the year before, and so I was really looking forward to going back this year. But Mike, the guy that owns the field there,
Big
is having
Mike.
it. Yeah, yeah, great guy. Is having an operation, so they had to change the date, and the
Yep.
date ends up being the exact same weekend as the WCPL New York.
Yeah.
So,
I talk to Mike. I'm not gonna say daily, but myself, Andy, and Thomas Boot, we all have like a little chat room,
right.
and we're always chatting. Definitely weekly, but it's not always daily. But
Oh,
yeah, I can't say enough nice things about Big Mike.
yeah.
Big Mike
Yeah,
O'Lear.
I got to tell you, you know, this is pretty cool. You know, like I say, when I do my show, my comments come up, but very few names come up because they don't. But you know, I'm looking at this, and I mean, Ed Porman is on, and Zoe Tankersley. I just,
Gotta
I
love
mean,
Zoe.
oh,
We gotta
oh,
love Ed too.
and I love Ed. Yeah, you know,
Absolutely.
Ed's like me.
Yeah.
You know, him and I, we're Jurassic Park. You know, and we love it. So
Yeah.
we've
I
been
actually
around a while.
had Ed was one of my earliest guests because I don't know if you know this or not, but the Avalanche team was hands down probably, I want to say, of the era, my absolute favorite paintball team. I don't know if I could pick between the Guns of Navarone, Team Ironman while Bob Long was in charge before the split, or Avalanche as who my absolute favorite team is.
Hmm.
Like ever. But those three were
Well, did you ever know anybody from Avalanche? Andy
yeah.
Greenwell? You know, Andy Greenwell was the captain. Um, you know, he's passed away now, God rest his soul.
Oh
But
no. Oh no, Andy Greenwell was captain of Navarone,
Navarone.
not
Yeah.
you said Avalanche.
Oh, I meant Navarone. Yeah, he was captain of Navarone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
No,
talking about. Yeah.
I might have met him, but I wouldn't say that I know him.
Yeah, I knew him. He was a great guy, you know, and then he came out. I can't remember. I think the Blade is the name of the semi-automatic that he came out with, and it just kind of destroyed him because I can't. I think it's called a Blade. Anyhow, it was just it was one of the worst markers I think that was ever
Yeah.
put out. It was really really bad.
Back in the 90s there was some pretty weird markers that came out that never really should have.
Well, you
What?
know the thing is, you know, a lot of guys tried, you know,
Oh,
like last night
they
on this
tried.
show. Yeah.
They failed.
You know, like I got, you know, Bud Orr and Tom K, you know, they've been friends of mine for 30 some years. And I was talking about them last night, Steve. And if you look back in the day, and Dennis Tipman, God rest his soul, but you know, Dennis Tipman's markers were great markers, especially for a rental, because it was just a rock solid marker. You could throw it, drop it, beat it up, and it'd still shoot, right?
Oh, I
But
know. I have one in the closet.
yeah,
Like,
but the two back there was autococker and the auto mag. And if you look today, there's a lot of different markers out there, Steve. But what do you still see?
I would argue
Autococker and
that
auto mag.
there was three big markers back then. There was the auto mag, there was the auto cocker, and then there was what they called the cocker killer, which was the Kingman spider. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that big.
Well,
And
it was huge up here. The Kingman Spider up
yeah,
here, there was all the mods for it. They were saying, "Oh, we can go toe to toe with autocockers and
no,
automags."
not at all. No, not
Hey,
even close.
I agree with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, Arthur Chang actually flew me down to L.A. I went out to lunch with him, and he wanted me to quit Airgun Designs and shoot the Spider.
Yep.
And and Arthur actually had a movie production company too, also. And he's like, "Oh, I'll do this for you and do this for you, yada yada yada." And I like, no, I don't think so. I want to see Fred run down the field with one of my VM68s for 10 minutes. Right outside. You know, the
Sean's by
VM68. Yeah. Huh?
Sean, by the way, he's
Yeah.
who's redoing my invert mini for Corden, or Corden's invert mini. It's not
Right.
mine, it's my son's.
The VM68, though, I had a VM68. And you know who sent me that? Jeff Promoter sent me that. And you know who that hooked me up with?
Jim
Dan
Light.
Dan Colby from Air America, because
They had that whispering death thing.
yeah, he called me up and he goes, Freddie goes, I want to send you this VM68. And he goes, I have a friend that's got an air system that would like you to try out for him. And it brought it out, and I went up to a tournament up in Oregon. And it was great. And I got to tell you, that thing shot really good. But, I mean, you almost need wheels on it.
Now,
Because,
the one you
heavy.
had, was it a VM68 or was it the earlier PMI3?
No, it was a VM68.
All right, because
Yeah,
I've
had the PMI3s too. I've had all of that stuff. So
I actually owned a PMI3 serial number 498.
was
And
that right?
I hated that thing. I actually broke it. The trigger pins in it actually bent.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I had to send it back to the States to have it repaired, because there was nobody up here that could do it. And then they
So
repaired it.
Sean works on all your stuff then, huh?
No. Sean's working on this one.
Is he?
Um
Is he a good gun tech?
Fantastic.
Oh, very cool.
Fantastic. But
Very cool.
when I get my gear worked on, as a general rule, I try to go with Caesar, or I try to go with Jake of Bearded Works.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had some chatting with Peng out in California as well.
Yeah, Ping. Yeah, I love Ping. Yeah, he's
Right?
Like,
love him or hate him, he is the most honest guy on the planet.
He
and
is.
I'll take that over a fake person any day of the week. I love that guy.
Absolutely. And he's my friend, period. I just,
Yeah.
He gets a lot of heat from different people, but I love it. Hi, guys. Hope you're all well. Seeing positive vibes from the UK.
Yeah.
Facebook user. Oh, man. What's your name? Who are you out there?
I'm going to guess that that's David, but don't quote me on that.
I got a lot of friends in the UK.
Yes. I have a few myself. Oh, Sean's saying that he modified a drill bit to repair 2 of his VM triggers back in the 90s. They're both still running. Yeah, I hated mine.
Buddy.
I hated mine so much. I don't like bashing stuff, but seeing as how that product is so gone out of the paintball world, I'm not affecting anybody. I know people love them, but the only thing I could think of using them for was a boat anchor. Like they were just so heavy. I couldn't get enough air. So I put a 10-ounce tank. You remember how long there were those really long ones?
Yeah.
So I had this 10-ounce tank off the front with the little stubby, I think it was a 9-inch barrel.
Uh-huh.
And I'd be playing, and the whole thing, when you'd be rapid firing, all of a sudden the tank, trying to get it into the picture there, would actually start to bend up. And so when you'd shoot, the paintballs were ricocheting off the end of the tank and flying up and breaking. Like,
oh, you're kidding.
No, I'm not. They are poo.
Wow. I've never seen that.
I sold it, and the guy that bought it, he loved it for a few months, and then his trigger bent, and he had enough of it, and he left it on his picnic table in mid-July, I think it was.
Wow.
And he just never wanted to look at it again. So he just left it on the picnic table in his backyard, and
Uh-huh.
he threw it in the garbage the following year after it had snow and ice and everything, and like all the parts and guts and springs and everything was just all over the place, and it
Yeah,
just got pitched.
I'd like to hook up with that Sean. He sounds like a pretty cool guy.
Oh,
I
he's
I like guys who work on it. And Kathy Alvarez is watching too.
awesome. You gotta
I
love
gotta
Kathy.
mention her. And then one guy I also want, yeah, Kathy, I love her. So, but I also want to mention Cliff. Cliff is watching.
Yes.
And we talked about him last night. Probably one of the best referees that there is out there, and the only guy I know that looks so much like a wizard, a knight, anything that he dresses up like that. It's just amazing, Steve. How I
Oh,
mean, he
I
just like he stepped out of a book. I'm like, oh my god, man, how cool is that?
yeah, no, you know that I used to ref for him, right?
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I was at a tournament at Ultimate Paintball, and they needed refs, and that's how I met Cliff. And I was actually reffing from across the field from him, and we were doing a zone style. We were doing a zone style reffing, and I was calling out hits from the other side of the field, and he was like, "Dude, you're amazing. You got to ref with me." And so I actually traveled with Discipline Lords. I've got the jerseys and all of it. And yeah, I've even got one of the incredibly rare sweaters, because you need sweaters sometimes up here in Canada to be warm.
Imagine that.
But yeah, Cliff is hands down one of the single greatest refs in the history of paintball, period.
I hate to mention my show, but I'm going to ask him to be on my show sometime because
Well, he's
we talked
watching.
about him
You're
last
asking
night.
him now. You're talking to him now.
In a roundabout way. Yeah, he's I just really look forward to talking to him more. Like we talk. I can text. That's the problem now. Is obviously I'm still teaching my finger to spell. So when I text, I misspell stuff, and I can't talk as quick with the finger as I can when I'm talking face to face with somebody. So yeah, I know.
Get it faster.
You're number one with me too, man. So that's just like this. I mean, the first time you and I text back and forth to each other, and then finally we got I think we did I was on your show. You had me on with Jennifer, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Cliff
think you
is
were
a
on
legend around here. Sean, he's a legend here too. I'm making him a legend.
He's a global legend.
Yeah, he is. He's and he looks like a kick in the pants too.
Oh, he's
A kick in the pants. That's somebody that's cool. So
I wish I'll have to dig out the picture. I have a picture of him and I, and we were reffing Quest for the Holy Grail at Blues Field in New Milford, Pennsylvania. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's damn it. I know the owner. I know the event. I know the city. EMR. Thank you, Cliff.
Okay. Yeah, because that's the first thing to go is the mind. But anyhow, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What were we talking about again?
And who are you?
I don't know anymore. I just don't know.
I love it.
Oh, God. Yeah. By the way, I just want to take a moment to thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight, or hanging out with us tonight. Thank you as well, Fred, because I had no plans for tonight. I just want to play more, and that's the whole topic. The whole topic about today's show. I've been doing a lot of soul searching, both for myself and for the show, and what I want to do and where I want to go. And when I created this podcast back 5 years ago, I really just wanted to tell stories. I didn't want the interviews or anything like that. I just wanted to hear people tell their favorite stories. That's all I wanted, because I just wanted to recapture that play. And it didn't matter if it was a famous person or a brand new beginner. I just wanted the story of how they ran the tape line and got the guy, or how they did this. You know what I mean? I just wanted the stories. And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but getting paintballers to tell stories on camera or on the podcast is like pulling freaking teeth, because you ask them and they're like, I don't know. It all just sort of blurs together. What's really important is the people.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware of that, but I want stories, damn it.
I've been pretty lucky with that. Every time I have somebody new on my show, one of the very first things I ask them is, what got you started in paintball? And then, what it does is once they tell that story, then it gets them thinking about, wow, that's how I got started, but this was a great time, and this was a great time, and I met this guy, and this was cool. So, it's I love hearing the stories, and it's easy to get it out of them. You got to come to Wasaga. I got to tell you, Cliff.
This
I'm
right
thinking,
here.
yeah, I'm thinking about maybe doing the big game. There's supposed to be a big game, I believe, when is that, June or August or something like that?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I can look it up, but
yeah, because June I'll be in New York. I'm going to do the WCPL New York, and then July I'm going to Alaska for 2 weeks. So
going to check out your gold thing.
Nope, going on a cruise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yep, just going to go out, and I finally got the wife to row us, so I thought, hell, we'll do it.
All right, so I am currently, just so you know, that's why I'm looking down. I am currently on Wasaga Beach's. Here we go. Frosty's Revenge, paintballing for poverty. That's really cool, by the way. I don't know if you know much about paintballing for poverty, but they actually spend a lot of money on this little town in the Philippines, and I call it the town that paintball built, because while the Langmans do it through the church and stuff, they've contributed so much money. So this one event does big things. Oh, here's
Sean said August.
All right. Well, bear with me 1 second.
That's what Sean said. August, I believe.
Yeah, I am doing my thing here.
This is so cool, because during my show I can't look at my phone to see who it is. This is very, very cool. I like this.
All right, wow. So 1 second. I want to share a screen.
No, I don't share a screen.
Oh, I'm totally sharing a screen.
Well, I hope it's on your.
You're gonna take it and you're gonna like it. All right, so let's just switch it over to this. Add that. So here we go. So this is the Wasaga big game, and it is on August 16th, 17th, and 18th.
There you go.
And yeah.
And see, I might be able to do that because I have Northern California WCPL. It's on the 5th and 6th of August.
Well, if you're going to be there, I'm going to be there, sure as shooting.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give that one a shot.
So,
how far is that actually from the border? What state in the U.S. is it close to?
Oh, I hate you so much right now. Hold on a second.
It's such a simple question.
It's not a simple question. It's on the other side of, I want to say Lake Superior, but don't quote me on that.
Because I got relatives in Chicago. I got relatives in Wisconsin.
All right. Map of Canada. Actually, I should go with Google Maps.
I'm making your mind work. I'm helping you.
You're helping me. Find a place on Google.
He said
Maps.
New York would be fastest. That's what Sean. Boy, Sean's got the answers.
Yeah, but
I got to meet this guy. I got to meet this. I like an answer guy.
All right, so hold on a second.
I am.
So there's
Peterborough. Go grab a sandwich. I'll be right back.
You're having a sandwich? What?
No, I said I'm going to go grab one. Will you take your time now to look up what you're doing?
All right. So, in a nutshell,
when did your funny bone break? I'm kind of curious about that.
Don't be hating. I'd like to see you try to do this, by the way.
Well, I don't. What I do is I'm a delegator. See, you don't understand how I operate. I delegate things.
So
okay.
All right. So here's Walkerton. There's Barrie. And why can I not see Wasaga Beach? All right,
So
let's just do.
Wasaga Beach is an actual city then, huh?
So Wasaga is a city. Wasaga Beach,
Right. Yeah,
yes.
that's what I
We
meant.
just call it Wasaga.
Got
All
it.
right, so there's Wasaga Adventure Park right there, as you
Okay.
can see. And let's just zoom her out. So it's just north of Barrie. So here's Toronto. And so the closest is Michigan.
Got it.
And so that's Lake Huron. I'm not sure what lake this is. Ah, there it
So
is.
hell,
Georgian. That's in Georgian Bay.
you could drive from Michigan then.
You could, yes. It's about 2 hours from my house to Wasaga Beach.
Uh-huh.
So it's like about an hour and a half from Toronto. So if you're driving from Michigan,
I'd probably
like,
fly into Toronto.
yeah. So if you were to drive from Detroit to there, it would be about 5 hours, 6 hours. So if
Oh,
you
that's
drove
not
from
bad at
Detroit,
all. Yeah,
pardon?
that's not bad.
No. And if you don't
Interesting.
know, all right, hold on a second. There we go. If you don't know, Wasaga Beach, by the way, is the single largest freshwater beach in the world.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
Oh, that's pretty
it's
cool.
essentially Wasaga Beach is essentially our Daytona Beach. So you know how everybody goes down to Daytona for partying
Right.
and stuff like that for spring
Yep.
break? Well,
Yep.
that's what we do in the summertime. Everybody flocks to Wasaga.
Oh,
It's
very cool.
so there's lots of little inns and things like that. It's really expensive there. But
Hey, it is what it is. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, so I missed some comments. I do apologize. So Cliff Meyer says Wisconsin, you would have to take a ferry.
Oh, that
Now,
wouldn't be
I'm
bad
hoping
either.
he's talking about the boat because he does dress up like a wizard, so we're not quite sure what kind of ferry he's talking about, but
You
I'm
know,
assuming the boat.
the minute you said it, about 50 things ran through my mind, and I had a hard time keeping my mouth shut. But you had to go and jump in and say it. It's fine.
Have you
It's
not
fine.
been on my show? You don't have to keep your mouth shut. Just let fly.
I love it, man.
All right, so
Kathy, I can see the
I can
stream.
see the stream. I think she means steam, Steve, so don't think too hard because I think she's talking about that.
Oh, I got
And
you. I
and
don't
somebody
think I've never seen steam come off your head. No, no. See, I've never seen steam come off it. Whoa!
well, it
I'm ready
it
to go get
it
my sunglasses.
it took care of my hair.
Yeah, there
By
you
the
go.
way, everybody, this is why I wear a hat. It's not that I'm embarrassed of being bald, but tell me that this doesn't look horrible on the show. So,
That doesn't look horrible.
well, yeah, I just don't want to put makeup and stuff on because, All right, so what did I miss here?
Is
All
my
right, so
mascara running?
yes.
Okay, cool.
All right, so
Makeup.
hey, they do it. The famous people do it. So
Yeah. So yeah, I was talking to Jeff Thompson last night, and Jeff was saying that they get for that big game, they get like 700 people at Wasaga.
Yeah.
For that big game in August. And I guess Friday night is like a camp out and a barbecue and everything. And
Yep.
then Saturday's a big game. And then Sunday they do like a pump stuff or something like that, he was saying.
Yep.
So I might fly in there maybe on a Thursday and then fly back out on a Sunday. That might be pretty cool.
Nobody listens to me when I say this, but Wasaga Beach Paintball Adventure Park is quite possibly one of the greatest paintball fields on the planet. And I'm not saying I've been to them all, and I'm not saying it's the best, but you would be hard pressed to go to a different field that's better. They have escape rooms, they have the place is massive. The woods are incredible. The building is all custom built. There's actually an indoor field that they can hold indoor tournaments at. Like, they've been doing this for a very long time and they've invested in it.
Right.
They actually moved the field because Steve Langman, Donna's wife,
Right.
his family grew up there and they were able
Donna's
to
husband.
yeah, they were able to rebuy the family land, and so they
Mhm.
moved from where they were to the new place, and so this place is all custom built. They own it. This field is in there for the long haul. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Because the WCPL, we've had offers from up in Canada and Mexico to expand to those two different countries. But, just like I tell everybody, we're still getting our legs underneath us here in the US. But I think the next move would be, obviously we have one in England because of
Yeah.
Marcus Davis. But
Yeah.
I think our next move would be up there in Canada.
Well, before you were an owner, I was talking with Kevin Donaldson and Marcus, and I was kind of go between with Donna, and there was going to be a Canadian tournament here, but there was a scheduling issue, and Mark Knopp out in he's part of Push. I'm trying to think of the country he's in. It's in Europe. It's it'll come to me. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mark Knopp wanted to have one on the same weekend, and as it felt, because of a scheduling issue, and Donna was trying to get things set up for the big game, it went to Mark Knopp, and so the event never happened. There was
Jeff,
a whole lot of stuff going on in the background. The details are unimportant, but there was almost a 10-man event at the new at Wasaga Beach, Croatia. Thank you. I'm not sure who said that, but
Jeff
thank you,
was saying that there's another really good woods ball place up there in Canada.
There's a bunch.
Yeah, he said this one was really, really good. He said the name of it last night on my show, but I cannot remember what the name of it. Steve, I can't remember the name of it.
So,
but he says it's a great field, great woods ball field. Yada,
well,
yada.
I know there's Ultimate. I know there's Barry. I know there's Wasaga. The one that the guys from Behind the Bunker, that one closed. That one was amazing. There was so many. There's so many large, big indoor paintball fields. The D-Day field. That's up near Ottawa. Cliff said, nope, D-Day field. So I believe that's called Commandos.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. But, Kathy Alvarez, she's talking about in August, the big game in August. I think there you go, right there. Sounds interesting. I think if we all work together, we could probably make that big game maybe 1,000 people game. And I'll tell you what's good about, Wasaga Beach, you're talking about that for the WCPL. If it's only like 5 hours out of Detroit, I mean, you've got
closer
New York
to 6.
would be close. Yeah, everything would be close actually to actually drive it or take the ferry over there, like Cliff was saying.
Well, so, if you fly into Toronto, it's only 2 hours up.
Right. I would fly in, rent a car, and drive up there. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you fly into Toronto and then you scoot up, and I'm willing to bet if there was enough things going on, I can see, and I don't want to talk for Donna, but I can see them arranging some sort of a shuttle, like they just like rent a bus or something and just get people up there. Like if there was enough people going, they would help organize that, because the Langmans actually, they've won a fair number of Better Business Awards for the area, and they're some of the most respected people in the community.
Very cool.
The stuff that the Langmans are able to accomplish is second to none. And then more importantly, and this is getting back to why you love paintball so much, there's a lot of paintballers in here that just would love to be able to see, play, and hang with their American counterparts that all we hear about, because there's very little media covering Canadian paintball, because there's very little Canadian paintball to be covered. But I can honestly see Canadians stepping in and say, okay, we'll meet you and we'll ferry you up. Like we'll just get out the SUV and load your gear and let's get you going. You know what I mean? Like I can see our community helping out everybody get to Wasaga. I can see that happening. So,
now that you mentioned the media up there, I got a friend request yesterday, and I accepted it today from a guy named Wolf. You know him?
Yep.
Do you?
He is the you
He
were the most popular paintball player of last generation. He's the most popular paintball player of this generation.
up there, maybe.
No, no, everywhere.
Oh no, not. No, I disagree. I disagree. Big
Well,
time disagree, actually.
I
Alex Frazee, Oliver
oh no,
Lang.
no, yeah, but they're tournament paintball players. I'm talking
Oh
about
no,
just
no, they're paintball players, though. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, no, no, I get that. Hold on one second.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah, because he's been wanting to be on my show for a year, and that's what he said today, anyhow. And he goes, "Yeah," he said, "I wanted to be on your show last year." And I said, "Well, you didn't friend me. You got to friend me if you know." And plus, I don't put just anybody on my show. One thing I like to pick and choose the people I think that are really good for the sport. But then I talked to Jeff last night, and Jeff says, "Yeah, he's pretty good for paintball. He's a pretty good guy." So,
well, he's got 38.4 followers on Instagram. Sir,
well,
38,000.
yeah, and a lot of guys here could do that too if that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I don't even do that. I don't want. I don't have people following me. I don't go for any of that. I just do my show on Facebook. Everybody goes, "Oh man, you need to get on this and you need to get on that," and I'm happy. I'm just messing around. I'm having a
Oh no,
good
I
time.
I I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that let me just show let me just point this out here for a second.
Well, I'm going
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
to meet him in about 2 weeks. He says he's going to Las Vegas. So,
Yeah. So on YouTube, he has almost 100,000 subscribers,
uh-huh.
and that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Like
You know,
he's he's a cool guy. Don't get me wrong.
mhm.
Like now why can't I?
I've had
Eh.
two different. I've had a couple different opinions of him, but
Oh yeah,
most
yeah.
most opinions I've had is he's pretty good. So,
Well, I've personally met him. I've personally shaken his hand, and I've personally had some chats with him, and I like the guy.
uh-huh.
That being said, there is a lot of people that would say that he spends more time in the parking lot. That whole kind of more about image,
Got
less
it.
about show.
Yeah.
That being said, every time that I've been at the field where he was dripping in paint. He was going
Mhm.
out, he was getting stuff done.
Oh, very
He was
cool.
getting it done. And I think that a lot of his haters are they fall under the wannabe category and they hate him because they aren't him.
Oh yeah, I know all kinds of them kind of people.
I
Take my
know
word
you
for it.
do. I
Believe
know
me.
a few myself.
So, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. I friended him, so I'm going to probably put him on the show here pretty soon and sit and talk to him, get to know him. But I'm going to get to meet him at the summit. He's going to the summit, so I'll get to meet him down there. And we got Connor watching us from Australia.
Gotta love Connor.
I do. Yeah, he's a great guy. I just it's so funny, Steve. When I first met Connor, everything was good. And then the poor guy, just like everything went south for him. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yep.
And then they can't figure out exactly what is
Oh,
going
they figured it
on.
out now.
Yeah, but I just talked to him, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He called me, and I don't know. It's pretty weird.
Yep.
So,
That it is.
hey guys, hey Connor, we say hi to you too, buddy.
We love you, Connor. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he reached out to me back when I was complete nobody. Connor just loves paintball. He loves absorbing paintball. He loves bringing it in. Like he just wants to meet, wants to meet, wants to meet. Him and Bud Orr are actually would do a lot of phone calls there for the longest time, but they're both kind of ill at the moment, so I don't know how much they talk at the moment. And Connor, you don't need to tell
Bud's doing
anybody.
good. Yeah,
Pardon?
Bud's doing good.
Is after his surgery?
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
Bud's doing great. I talk to Bud
Awesome.
every couple of days, so
Nice.
yeah, yeah, he's doing good. Yeah, but Connor, Connor was out running around having a good time, and then it's just like a light switch.
Yep.
It was absolutely amazing. It really, really was. So
Yep. Well, I wouldn't call it amazing, but
yeah, I mean, amazingly bad. So that's what I meant.
all right. So we got so Kathy's talking about getting the Valkyries to come to Wasaga. That would be amazing.
Yep, that'd be pretty cool.
And then what we got else do we got here? I'm not sure what 4 years ago this June. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on the stuff.
Yeah, no, that's when that happened to Connor, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Anyway. So if anybody have any questions for us while we're here? I know there's 11 people watching at the moment, which is not huge, but it cycles in and out. But we've been going for about an hour. And
yeah, you have any questions, throw them out.
yeah,
You know?
throw them out because I think we're gonna shut this show down soon a little bit.
Couple more minutes here.
Yeah. But yeah, if anybody wants to make a comment or ask Mr. Fred a question, or he can ask me a question too, although I'm pretty much an open book. So you haven't anyway, changing the subject for a second. So Fred, you haven't fired that EMAC yet? Dude.
No, I've only had it for a couple of months. So
yeah, but you live in California, that's no excuse.
Yeah, I know. I got so many other things, you know. It's just
Connor wants to know if I'm wearing pants. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
There you go.
Actually, I had to grab a vintage Red skier.
And I'm hoping Connor's not disappointed. So
when I go to my pants, nobody's disappointed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're looking forward to reffing you again. Cliff, when did you ref me, buddy?
When didn't he ref you?
No, I'd like to know what events. Unless maybe at the Dome.
He was the Discipline Lords refed a fair number of the Skyball events.
Yeah,
but the other thing you're going to need to know is the Discipline Lords I'm not going to say they were the first international reffing team, but they were one of. And so they were at EMR. They were at International Amateur Open. They were at a lot of different things.
Yeah, I was at the Amateur Opens.
So. I know you were. I
didn't go out for the reffing. I didn't notice meet any of the refs and stuff. So
no, I'm just saying when it comes to international events, as long as like the NPPL, that was all teams reffing teams, right? So it wouldn't have been those events per se, but if it was an individual standalone event,
the Masters.
Yep.
I was at, matter of fact, I think my first Masters was like 88, 89, something like that. It was one of the first ones. I got the patch or some damn place. But yeah, so you were one of the refs at the Masters. That is very, very
Cliff cool. I wasn't.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about is Cliff. Because I just read it right here.
Yeah.
Said the International Masters only missed one Skyball event. Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, question.
When I refed with the Discipline Lords, I was only reffing local tournaments, and I would help out with international big games. So I helped ref at Hell Survivors. I helped ref at EMR. Another couple small fields that are long since gone. But yeah.
Okay, what do you mostly play with these days? My autococker. Let me see if I can grab it right here.
Nope, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. If you whip out a paintball gun and you're holding it, the algorithm in YouTube could shut us down.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they did last week or the week before.
Quickly.
Please don't do that.
It doesn't even look like one. So, but that's what I use when I play, and it's all been Caesarized and boom treated, and I got to tell you,
yeah, they're amazing.
So it absolutely rocks. It's like a sewing machine. It just flies. And one thing that I really like about the autococker is the shot is so flat and so long. It's amazing how the valve system works in it and fires that paintball out there.
I am not knocking the autococker, but I am telling you this weekend, go to your local field, take that EMEC with you, and just throw 100 rounds through it.
Oh, I've shot a few EMEX. I shot the one that first one that Caesar got and put together. He was out in New York last year. And I shot that one, Steve, and yeah, they shoot great.
Like that
I don't down any of them.
that spool valve in there. Oh my god! Like
I've never seen anything the distance and the flatness of a shot than I do with the cocker. Now maybe the free flow cocker. I've never shot one of those yet. I'm kind of looking at those right now, to be honest with you.
nothing against free flow. I like how they make limited quantities and whatnot, but they're basically just putting aftermarket parts in. So I
Mhm.
love free flow. In no way, shape, or form am I putting them down,
Right.
because they're very customizable. So you can get what you want. But if I was to buy a brand new autococker right now, I would probably go for a Shock Tech
Uh-huh.
SFL,
That's another good one.
because
Yeah.
they they actually create their own aftermarket parts and whatnot to really make it something special. But in no way, shape, or form am I putting down free flow. I'm
Right.
just saying a Shock Tech SFL and then send it to Caesar oh,
Yep.
and then
You know,
Caesar makes his own super cockers too, right?
oh yeah. Well, there's something else going on with Caesar right now too.
Yeah,
I'm not going to talk about it, but we've
right.
got something else that's going on right now. But anyhow, Connor asked if we had a magic wand, what is one thing that we would change in our sport? And let me go first on this one because what I would change is all the infighting. A lot of you guys don't see it. I get to see it all the time because I just know so many of the people that are infighting.
Yeah,
Um, the thing is, everybody wants their piece of pie, but what people don't understand, if everybody worked together, the pie would be so huge that their piece would be enormous.
yep,
But there's just so much of this. You can't go here because you play at my fields. You can't play at this field, or this is a piece of junk and mine's better. The Tom K. I talked about this last night. Now, Tom K. Bud Orr and Dennis Tipman are the rest is sold Dennis Tipman, but they were all my friends and still are today, my friends.
except for
These
Dennis.
guys, yeah. These guys used to get together in a motel room when we go like the amateur open and things like that. And would they say, "Oh man, you're screwing me. You took my part. You did this." These guys did not do that. These guys would work together to make whichever, like Bud would look at the cocker and go, "Man, if you did this, it'd be better." And Tom would look at the cocker and go, "Hey, if you did this, it'd be better." These guys all work together. And look at their markers are still here today. They're still
Yep.
popular today, No
Here's
infighting whatsoever.
here's what I always thought was funny about the Automag versus Autococker debate of the 90s. And this is what always boggled my mind, because up here we didn't know that they were best friends. Like eventually I learned, but for the longest time it was all rumor mill, gossip mill, stuff like that. And I always had this belief that it was all hype. And the reason why I believed it was all hype is because the grips on an Automag or Mini Mag and the grips on an Autococker, the early ones, were exactly the same. There was the same frame with modifications, of course, because you need different modifications. Like the two guns work completely differently, but
Right.
it was exactly the same frame with exactly the same grip. And I've got one right beside me, but I don't want to. Last time I pulled it out, YouTube shut me down for the algorithm, shut me down for displaying a
That's amazing
firearm.
because YouTube's got all kinds of firearms actually on there. So I
But
don't understand.
because we're live. If I did it and it wasn't live, that would be okay. But
Well,
because it
when
was
those guys
live,
show it, well, I don't know.
no, it's
When it
not
gets to
live.
YouTube, is it live on YouTube right now?
Yes. We are,
Well,
just so you know,
Maybe
We are
that's it
currently
then.
live. We are currently live on 2 different places in Facebook. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Twitch. And within the month, we are also when I go live, I will also be live on X and I will be live on Instagram all at the same time, completely
Uh-huh.
simultaneous.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, because I show stuff all the time
Yeah,
on the
but you
show, and
don't go you're only on Facebook.
that's all I wanted to be on is that. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Okay, I
but
got it.
I've
That's
got it set
interesting.
up. I've got it set up. So like, yeah, right now we got one person watching on Twitch and 7 people watching on Facebook, but it comes and goes for YouTube as well.
Well, Connor asked, "What would you change, Steve, if you had a magic wand?"
Um,
And don't say your looks because that don't count.
I can't improve these looks.
Yeah. Oh,
They can't be
oh, oh.
improved.
Thank God I'm belted into this chair. Now go ahead.
I'm trying to think of what I would change. Um, I'm not the, you would change the infighting. I would really like to change the arms races. Like, and this is getting back to how I started this show. How I'm going to be using the old Go3 and the EMEC and just generally having fun, more playing, less peacocking. But there's this back. Do you remember back in the 90s we'd get one paintball marker and that was good for a few years and people would see it and it could be 4 years old and people would see the autococker or the automag or whatever and be like, yeah, you've got a great marker. And then you would put stuff, you would make it your own, but it was just one marker. And it feels like for the longest time now, if you don't have this year's version, you're not crap. But you and I both know that you could take a 15-year-old Electro and put it up against a modern day Electro. And the only real difference is the modern day is a little bit easier to clean and it might be just a smidge more air efficient. And that's it. The rate of fire doesn't change, the accuracy doesn't change. It's still an amazing marker, but it's just not, and do you remember how the auto mags and the auto cockers, you'd buy it brand new for X amount and then that price wouldn't change for years? It was like a Harley Davidson motorcycle. No matter how long you had it, they just maintained their value because they were so well liked and so well respected.
Yep.
And now it's like every year it's like, well, this year's shocker is better than 2 years ago shocker. And I'm not seeing the changes. Now, I'm not saying that the new stuff isn't great. I'm not saying the new milling isn't great. I'm not saying how they've made it easier to swap out frames and stuff isn't great. Like there's a lot of changes that have been happening. But from just one year to the next, the amount of change is so minimal. I really feel bad because I didn't play it all last year, and that really bothers me. But the year before, when I went to the field a couple times, a couple guys came out with their older markers and they were proud of themselves. And I was watching some of the snooty guys looking down on them because they had a marker that was like 5 years old or 6 years old or whatnot. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be rocking a Go3 this season, because I got to tell you, I like how it fits. I honestly believe that paintball markers choose the player. Players don't choose the paintball markers. And once you get something that just works for you and you click with, that's what paintball's all about. Like just being yourself and just enjoying the sport and people around you. And I think that's what I would change is this whole one upness. That drives me nuts.
I don't get into that anyhow. Yeah,
No,
I
you,
shoot what I want to shoot, and it is what it is.
yeah, you may not, but my point is you've seen it. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I'm talking about.
yeah, I do. Yep. But that's the kids. So it
Eh,
is. Yeah, It is what it is.
Well,
You know, it's
age does not reflect maturity, and we are both prime examples of that.
there you go. Well, right on, Stevie.
Are you bailing on me, my friend?
Well, yeah, we've gone over an hour.
Well, yes, but you're the only one that actually tries to stick to the hour. I just sort of
Roll
go
on,
until
huh?
I don't want to go no more. But I honestly think it's time to shut this thing down
Yeah.
myself. All right, so let's go over the questions. Make sure we didn't miss anything first. All right, so Cliff said that you met him in Nashville, and you hooked him up with the Russians in 1993.
Well, you know what? Oh, wait a minute. The Russians. Okay, because Cliff, there was a Russian team and a Japanese team there, and they wanted to play, but they didn't. Neither one of them had enough guys. And if you look at the beginning of my show, I actually have the picture of them together and me because I hooked them up and they played that tournament together. I was the one that put them together. It was the Russians and I believe the Japanese, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember now, but it's on the beginning of my show. You can see them right there.
All right, so I
Right
don't know
on,
why
Cliff.
Cliff said Cobra Pump, but I actually have 3 of them. I've got I've got the King Cobra barrel, and I've actually got a couple of the regular Cobra ones. The King Cobra had the longer barrel. It was the same gun, just different lengths.
Oh, cool.
And then Connor said, "We will be dust, and they will find a perfect GO3." Well, actually, Connor, when I say I'm playing with the GO3, that is that's my GO3, and it is pretty darn mint, if I do say so myself. What else? Oh, Cliff said
Brian
good night, all.
Stoops. Right on, Brian. How you doing, buddy?
All right, so
Very
I'm
cool.
sorry, who I don't see a Brian
Brian
pop up.
Stoops
Yeah.
is watching. Yeah, another good paintballer guy.
All right. Anybody that watches us are great paintball people.
Well, yes, yes, and no. There's guys that I kind of God, I hate to say pick and choose, but there's guys I respect more than other guys. Let's go there. I
Sure.
respect everybody, but some I respect more. Okay,
Yep.
Brian would be one of the more. So Stephen Snow, guys like that. Ryan Courtney, Paul Farrell. These are some very special guys. I like people that are good for the sport of paintball. Period.
You know what I want to know before we shut this thing down is Kathy was talking about getting the Valkyries to go to Wasaga Beach, and I know the Valkyries is a women's only team, and rightfully so.
Yep.
But I want to know why there isn't like a male version of the Valkyries.
Because I think it would take away from the mystique of the
Well, yeah, I
women's
just,
team.
but yeah, but I mean, if there was just like I don't know, the Valkyries pit crew, you know what I mean? something,
Yeah.
something like that. Oh, somebody said hi, Fred,
Yeah,
and
Kiko.
are you receiving me? Am I coming in?
That's Kiko. He's my buddy. He's he travels with me when I
Oh,
go
I
do the
know who
tournaments.
Kiko
And,
is.
yeah, yeah, he goes with me. He's like my right hand man when I do the tournaments and stuff like that. Um, he's crazy, but I love him. I mean, he's just a lot of fun to be with, and he's a huge help because when I go do these tournaments and stuff like that, it's not like we just walk onto the field and everything's ready to go, and
No,
I just kick back in a lawn chair. Kiko and I get out there and we put this stuff together and we make it happen. And it's anybody that thinks it's easy to do a tournament, go do one, then come back and talk to me. So
well, I've never been at the level that you are, Fred, but I have refed a number of events, and I did help try to organize smaller local type tournaments, and that was no fun. So I
yeah.
can just imagine how much of a pain in the patoot that
Oh, it
a
is. I mean,
full
I
team would
helped
be.
start the MPPL. I did MPPL tournaments. I did Jim Lively's out here, the Bay City Open. I set all that up and ran that out here, the WCPL. So, I've done a bunch of them, and
Yep.
having a guy like Kiko with me, it helps an awful
Oh,
lot. Because first of all, he's been in paintball since 1984 with me. I was actually the guy that got him into paintball. We were across the street from a guy that worked for me then, and had the splat master, and I was showing another guy across the street the splat master, and I shot this guy's house. Okay, well that's when Kiko Kiko seen it, and he's like, "Oh man, I got to have one of them." And we had like 45 guys working for us at that time, you know. So everybody got them, and that's how Kiko got into paintball, was that way.
Now, just for curiosity, the Splatmaster you're talking about, you talking about the ones that you slap from the back, or the
Correct.
Splatmaster Rapides that you were the double action?
Oh no, those are fancy. No, these you
Those are
push from the back. You push from the back, yeah.
All right.
So,
Well, I think it's time to shut this pig down. Thank
got
you
it.
so much for coming on and hanging out with me, Fred. Actually,
Oh,
thank
I
you
love it.
everybody for hanging out with me tonight.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely love it, Steve.
tonight had no rhyme, no reason, no direction. I just wanted to hang out with my friends. So thank you, Fred.
My pleasure.
And I
Absolutely. I
am,
appreciate
again,
you
once
having me
again,
on.
I am so sorry I missed last night. That was
Hey,
beyond my
technical trouble, you
control,
know
and
what?
I hate it.
It's not a big deal.
It's a
There's
big deal to me because when I make an
there's gonna be
agreement,
more
I
times.
try to stick to it. So,
There's gonna be more times.
Christ, what did I get myself into now?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that'll teach you, won't it?
All right, Fred, anything you want to say before I shrink you down?
Well, I just appreciate.
Too late.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on here tonight. And you know, I appreciate everybody that chimed in and people that were watching. And I think you've got some great people that were watching tonight. I really appreciate that. Always remember, get out there, play hard, play safe, play fair, go play some paintball. All right, bye, Steve.
See you, Fred. All right, everybody, that's my show for tonight. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Again, as I said, I had no plans for tonight. I don't think you all realize how much I missed just doing this and chatting with you all and chatting with paintball and stuff. So I am not going to miss a week unless there's a really good reason, because I just don't want to miss any more. And more importantly, this season, I want to play more and worry less about image and whatnot. I just want to play. So in any case, keep your paint dry and play with passion, everybody. And hopefully this season I'll see you on the field. Ciao.